and it feels like they're going to be able to really hit the ground running as long as they can fully set up shop and have as good of a read as they have on previous maps.
Kind of got to the right season for Boxer when they bloomed very late into the end of the round, and well, they've been squashed, absolutely burnt to a crisp off of Cubert, just making that a speed run of a pistol.
I mean, Redux just ran out, and Nismo just ran out with his graph net, and they were able to completely collapse. That was insane.
Yeah, what?
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, what a way to get it started. Don't even offer them a chance. Shoot, Sacred at least got 2 nice little dinks with his headhunter before Cubert could fully silence the prowl, but I mean, the round didn't even really get started there. Like, the blind and the grav net fully pressures away everything on that push, and everyone hits their shots.
Yeah, Cubert just can't keep getting away with this. And now they dial it all the way back from barriers down, run at you to, all right, you got kill trips up, you got one-way cages, and Cubert just hanging back, calling reinforcements from Redux. He'll be able to teleport over if needed. He has a Marshal watching over mid, so you know that the market's not going to be in another angle for Boxer to explore. But Sacred, he was nice with the Headhunter last round, as you pointed out, and he opens up the round this time with it again.
He just walked out for those as well, and he just fades away. That's kind of nuts from Sacred. And Cubert, they kind of just have to stay put now. They've committed to the bit. They got to stay slow, sluggish, wait for Boxer to do the talking. They've given away mid at this point, too. They've got to hold the CT swings as well. This is touchy from every angle.
Boxer tried to sell the fake that they were going elsewhere. Now the recon will reveal a ton, and it lines up the ducks for Redux to hit 2. The 3 with the no scope. Oh, no, not the ace again. Oh, you just can't stop him.
More. We can do this again. My ult's ready.
What was that?
I mean, he's only got to hit the body shots for a majority of those, but that doesn't make it any less impressive. That was awesome to see. The world on his shoulders for just a moment. The cavalry was coming, but he didn't need it. Everybody just walking into frame. That was a nice double no-scope there, too. That last kill on the Sacred was nuts. All right, so, yeah, we've hit the 2-0. We're not in panic mode. Redux now has a dimensional drift as well, so they can play for retake if they want to, but it looks like Redux is already looking to go on a a little quest.
Is he just like smurfing challengers? Like
he might be. It might be that kind of day
already. Like surely. Oh, that's my bad.
You spoke too soon.
Chaotic. All right, he shows him how it's done. Open up the market side. Now gives a lot more options for Boxer to be dynamic. Oh, just early contact for Sacred. Gonna get out of dodge. Keeps Cubert busy. But Boxer have now the 2 open lanes, A or B. You see Cubert already adjusting their trips for the very door they're coming out of. Right, says a judge. This is guaranteed a kill at the very least. This Boxer, this won't have something good. Okay, I'm just gonna stop speaking. 6 HP. Any other judge kills that guy there.
Sacred's a contact king. And mid is finally played into this time after it's once again given away left. Once Cubert are forced to a 4v5. But even still, like you said, some of those shots are a little insane to still get them this far, make it as dominant a bonus as it looks to be. On the ropes to keep 5 members, but Sacred is, funnily enough, the one that's the most overextended, and the man could get tickled and he'll die. Yeah, how much does Nismo get here?
I think Sacred's about to shoot him in the back.
Hey,
on the side, close enough. But hey, good for Boxer to get their first rifle round down, because on Icebox, it was 9-3 in favor of Cubert. Losing that first rifle round forced Boxer to have to buy a bunch of sheriffs and stingers and somehow pull a round out of their hat and on a lower buy like that. So now Boxer don't have to worry about that as much, being able to carry all their rifles into the next round.
Yeah, definitely a confidence game that Boxer can now play back into. And no real opportunity manifested for Cubert to utilize the util that they still have on top of this comp-wise. Redux, again, very forward, but he'll find Chaotic this time. And that changes just about... I mean, that's... The butterfly has flown the other direction, you know? Everything changes from there.
Yeah, you throw everything at Redux and he still doesn't die. Like Flash, Recon, and Boxer just need to find the right window to swing on him while he's busy shooting util or playing anti-flash. While the Cubert Academy boys play OBS off the camera. Boxer just haven't found a good engagement, at least an easy one. And man, Cubert are just playing very lights out, like every single individual on this team.
Yep. It's the point that they're at. They once again want to show that gap on the scoreboard and do it quick while they're on this defensive half. The double sentinel should not be the star of the show at the moment. It should be these initiators. It should be Redux continuing to be a thorn in the side. The double sentinel should be the last line of defense that Box of Rockets have to deal with when there's 30, 40 seconds left on the clock. Cubert have only shown the first page of this playbook.
Yeah, Boxer just
really good.
Boxer are just trying to come up from different angles, from infantry to main to everything, and not being able to get these wide swings and good contact off of Cubert, who just have a really good setup. Then you have two players who have yet to find a kill, and not to like call anybody out, it's just Boxer that I thought really started to hit a good stride at the end of Icebox. Like it ended 13-10 after a 9-3 start, and I really thought that Boxer had what it took to even force an overtime. That's how good they looked at the end. But this is a quieter start, but we'll see what they can do now.
Still maintaining composure, and Sacred has been getting free kills by just walking out. So if he continues to do that, then BORZ still definitely has a chance.
Off this camera alone, Cubert don't have to take any risks. They can full vision of multiple entry points into the site. And maybe Boxer just have to work the map a little more. That's why we thought this map was going to be so fast. It's like Icebox, we didn't really see either team work the map too much and explore different sites. And maybe Boxer just need to do that more.
You can sell that the TDF is somewhere other than where it's already been telegraphed, then that would really help the rest of Boxer's bottom line. A lot of mid-presence to help do that, and the smoke about to dissipate. They can, turn this into a pinch now that they've done the rest of the clearing manually, and now that Tour de Force can just be a residual threat. Mid-presence as well from Moose, a terrific insert to block out the rest of the team. The board's really been split by Boxer Rockets this round.
See how purposeful these gaps have been left by Cubert. Yeah, you just have Boxer, you have the attacking team behind you, as you pointed out. This is kind of scary. And no, even through the backstab, Boxer just haven't had any openings, any bullet holes into Cubert. A flawless round for this defense. And Redux is crashing on your body. Oh, no.
I mean, every bar set there by Box of Rockets fully cleared and then some by Cubert. Every threat met immediately. McNutty having a really mean snake up to heaven. Could grab a quick two, but Cubert is ready. They meet the threat. They deal with it quickly. And on site, it is no different. The extension is quick, but the crunch back from Cubert is quicker. And the dimensional drift utilized by Redux to fully pressure out Sacred as well. So he cannot be as ubiquitous as he wanted to on the pinch. A great counterplay to what looked to be a very strong round from Box of Rockets. And now McNutty having to go re-hunting after the Gravnet catches him. That means no smokes for what is already a touchy round for Boxer.
Yeah, the desk talked about that push and pull, and we saw an example of that right at A off the one-way. Exchange of util. But Knight's just outplaying it in that moment, staying alive. Cubert have everyone still up after a flawless round. They are scaling and the momentum is on their side. It's a quick dance and Boxer left to pick up the pieces. And it's Chaotic with a big double that makes this round winnable, with Knights teleporting over using the ult. Now a 2 versus 3. Cubert have to defend the site. And it's an uphill battle. Boxer even just gonna flush out the very back. What is it with Boxer going to the opposite spawn? They get 2-piece. The spike is down. Chaotic barely pulls through on that, but he's just so injured. Boxer really overthought that round, I think.
Yeah, it feels like they were terrified of Knights, even though they fully confirmed him after ETP. That was a terrific timing on the recon bolt, but it just seems like they lacked the confidence to press into it, and so instead they opted to run towards what they perceived as a weaker site. And it also seemed like they were primed to clear Nismo, but Nismo does what Nismo does, and he gets 2. He completely stops this push and pulls right back for Cubert to continue keeping their foot on Box of Rockets' esophaguses. And this is still a desperate buy.
Oh my God. How did he not collat there? Or at least get both kills. Either way, Cubert can always rely on Redux with any sniper you give him. It's hunting season. And Boxer is just going to try and clear through mid and just really sell this fake. But there has to be a win from Boxer elsewhere. And they really just don't have the weapons to tango with Cubert.
You're just holding it down at this point. Yeah, this is confidence. This is Cubert starting to boom Boxer. But they've been, again, very willing to just climb back, very disciplined. See the slowdown even in this round, where they're getting continuously pressured. Cubert realizes it has to be material, and they'll finally act.
Yeah, the Boxer smokes came up too late, and the Cubert threat from the top site emerged, and that's Caillou. Now getting Boxer to have to deal with them, because he can't get onto the site cleanly with the 2 defenders, the 2 anchors still there, and man, Cubert, the teamwork is just so good, and they've worked on this for so long, and it's really shining here, 6-1. But this is also reminiscent of how one-sided Icebox felt in the first half. Maybe Boxer are just a second half kind of team.
It's very true. They'll definitely have better luck on the defensive half as well. So if they're able to at least just like hold it down, secure a couple clutch rounds like they did in the previous game, then we can meet the very same kind of fate that we did previously, where they were able to climb back and start forcing more mistakes out of Cubert's weaker side. But you've got to get there first, and if Cubert stay as polished as they do, then it's going to be tough for Box of Rockets to find any semblance of momentum. This Dimensional Drift is a good start, though. He's already getting taken over.
Hunter's Fury from Caillou keeps Boxer humble, but some still snuck through the cracks, and Boxer got a good trade. They have their spike in deep. They need to help McNutty. He's kind of on a solo endeavor, using his paranoia to enable himself while the rest of Boxer cover the other staircase. There's only one lone wolf left. He uses the fake TP, but Cubert, you just cannot stunt them.
The Steel Garden to get on this time, and they did, but they couldn't really do anything with it. Everyone on Cubert was able to stay so stationary. You saw Redux and Knights feeling very secure in their positions thanks to the latter's smokes that were set up very properly on the site. And B still felt like such an impossible site to fully guarantee. You had so much that you had to clear. You have all this double sentinel util that you have to make sure is not present. And it has led to forced slowdown, conditioned slowdown, without even having to place anything. Cubert gets so much free time to just check back behind them and fill in the blanks. And it's led to so many free fights taken back and a lot of tough rounds to watch if you're a Box of Rockets fan, for sure.
Absolutely. You have to play phenomenally. You have to play to your peak to go up against Cubert Academy. To be the best, to beat the best, you gotta be the best. And I'm seeing Sacred have these high moments. I have Chaotic, of course, clutching up some rounds here and there. But it's like the whole team needs to be on their best behavior and mechanically, and all of them have to just be on point. And it's 7-1, and I don't doubt the resilience of Boxer. They've come back from worse, but this was their felt like their first time out of the series, and a much needed point for Boxer to talk to each other and breathe a little bit.
Yeah, certainly the right time to do it.
I didn't want to curse any more shotguns. I did not want to say it's guaranteed a kill anymore. Of course, the shorty gets the kill, but not the judge, right? But Boxer, fantastic start. Lurking in the shadows, catching Cubert. You know they're going to be playing a buddy system, so you got to beat them at their own game. Here comes Boxer. They just have to deal with Satellite. Can get a neural theft online if he's lucky. There's a lot of injured members from Boxer. Too much threat, though, for Satellite. Won't be able to activate the ultimate. 2 versus 2. Enough work has been done as Boxer approaches, and it's a 1v1. No spike yet planted. 48 seconds. Chaotic doesn't have to worry about that. It's Nismo rounding the corner. He's worried about that back closet as Chaotic is just gonna dip to another site.
The reset that you need when you're on just 39 HP. And Nismo still has a grav net to be able to clear a free choke. With all the knowledge that he had left after all that individual clearing, you needed to go for it. But he's already here. Nismo is ready.
Oh, you just heard the weapon drop in main. So Nismo knows. Chaotic already checked heaven. He's just gonna be playing for sound, and Nismo plays for the one tap. Oh,
He didn't even need it.
just absolutely caught.
So disrespectful, and he just shakes it off. He shrugs it off. That is nothing for him. To speak to how the rest of that round went, I gotta say Satellite did kind of give himself away a little bit early on. Felt the pressure, but did a good amount of chip damage in the meantime. Thanks to, again, that double sent to util that was set up. Hey, how about that collat damage with the shorty from Redux to cut that health pool super short in the short term as well. So a lot of homework done to let Nismo get that one shot that he needed to. But still, this has been a really impressive half from Cubert all around, and they have all the tools they need to carry this forward. But this is a round where Boxer Rockets also have a lot of stuff at their disposal. So any way to really open up this site and guarantee themselves a round again, it's necessary ones to hold on to in order to have the morale to bring this back on their own defensive side.
Boxer bot and attacking off. That helps Sacred and friends dominate mid. They already inserted Chaotic to teleport forward, send a clone, get Cubert to pay more attention and look away from the perimeter. While T-Dog throws some util at B. So we're seeing Boxer eat up more of this early round to use util, try to create a weaker site, a better opportunity. So far, the duels have not gone their way.
Sacred's been the first line of contact first purely, or a lot of the time purely because he's just been so clean with it. Boxer Rockets just trusted to be able to make that shot happen, but Moose continues to have a goose egg on his scoreboard at the moment. Unable to really make any headway here in mid. Chaotic having to take those reins. And unfortunately in a round that Boxer Rockets had so much structure in, seems like nothing is coming of it here.
I was just trying to get your lurks going and see if everyone takes their 1v1s. Surely someone will come out ahead and that'll inspire the team to go somewhere. Well, at least it's A and the spike carrier gets killed. Boxer have to step up and Chaotic does just that. The plant will go down just in time with 2 seconds to spare, and Boxer have to salvage this round. At least they'll have the numbers, they'll have an op, and Sacred will be in main. We'll have to match up against Nismo, who has a lot of threats below and now in front of him. Sacred wins the shots and the op will be dropped. The damage has been done. Boxer have bought some time. And nice drops to deal with these Hell members, and Chaotic stays stoic despite literally being 2 HP.
Playing so slow and mechanical. After, again, so much was given away, but Chaotic getting right back on top of that mid cut. And even though he gets the clone there, Cubert is still forced to divvy up the resources. And that lets Box of Rockets get that opening 3v2. They step into it, they win the fights they need to, they set up shop, they have the personnel advantage. They get to reset in hell, despite the fact that they continue to give themselves away. It doesn't matter. Cubert don't have enough.
Who's next?
Really need to get everything they can get on the attack, yet Knights just gets pinged from the dimensional drift. Good information exchange from the Boxer side. Now the Hunter's Fury did press back Cubert, but Satellite will just be lurking in the shadows while the rest of Cubert try to regain control of Heaven. They'll do so with their own dimensional drift. Satellite still has the neural theft, and Boxer don't want to leave any bodies in their wake. They need a clean round, and T-Dog just charges into hell. Satellite eats a shotgun, and Boxer have to just deathmatch it out, and Chaotic converts 3 and the 3rd round for Boxer.
I mean, he's just running around the map at that point. He's just trying to make a mountain out of that molehill, and Cubert, they're ready for it. They're trying to fight it out. They're trying to maintain some level of advantage there, and they almost hold on to it. Satellite continuing to stay on site rather than backing out for the retakes, just trying to get away with as much as he can, even in these 4v5s. And it turns into a neural theft, but it also turns into so much intel that the rest of the team can use to just spring the trap fully on the site now. And Cubert, in this last round, forced to a bit of a slim buy. Redux with this Marshall can't get much more than just a simple cut on a Chaotic done.
And Marshall versus Outlaw, I'll give you a guess who wins that. Chaotic. It's really come alive these past couple rounds. And okay, a lot of jump peeks from Cubert that have gone unpunished. Information without really much cost. So good for them, while the rest of Boxer have to head elsewhere. So all eyes are on Caillou and how he deals with this 1v2. Off the flash, he looks away. If you blink, you miss it. And off the corner, Boxer just flipped 2 on its head, and Caillou is dead, just being overwhelmed. And Chaotic, the Outlaw, still stands at 13 HP, while the rest of Boxer hope to scoop up Satellite from this power position. The drop down's a little awkward, and my God, Satellite is a beast. T-Dog just hesitated.
Oh my
and
God.
Satellite just can't be touched. A 3K, the ultimate anchor we just can't stop talking about. And Chaotic won't be able to say much back at 13 HP.
Fully aware that he's there. Able to retake fight after fight after fight, and it just doesn't matter. Satellite saves everything
10 seconds left
for Cubert's 9th round here, as Chaotic is forced to just gun it down and hand a 4th to that Cypher. Just when you thought that that opening Sentinel was looking a little bit weaker, was not starting to find as much value, he comes up with that 9th round as we swap sides. And we need to talk about what Box of Rockets has done well enough that they can flip onto this defense. And immediately what comes to mind is Sacred's ability to just shoot right. His activity on the attack half was already a little bit ambitious, and it worked out far more often than I think many of us expected. For him to be able to reset a couple times on top of that, I think he'll start to climb up to where Chaotic's sitting on the scoreboard in no time.
Well, our hope is that Boxer have been a second half Karna team. Pulled out the second half pistol on Icebox, and that will be their only hope to come back in this series and this map. And it's an all-out swarm for mid, and Chaotic's about to find out the hard way, but can he bring people down to hell with them? 2 for 1. You take those every day of the week. That ends with Y. And Boxer are left itching their heads on, well, how do they cover up the gap that's been left in mid? Cubert could still get B going, but Cubert left their backs unchecked, and Sacred is poking about.
Chaotic calling the shot and then making 2 of them. And now Sacred following up with the ultimate backline frag. The confidence to hold that as well, as Cubert only have market now that McNutty has cleared the remainder. And Satellite's been found. That'll certainly seal the round. And what a start for Box of Rockets. Of a very small amount of integral plays turning an entire half to their favor in an instant.
A lot more solo plays coming out of Boxer sometimes where they're just kind of... You saw that at the end of the first half. Like, even just Chaotic being in the smoke here by himself, to Sacred's at the very back of the site playing solo, to just Boxer having to pull out everything. And kind of utilizing the map control has been giving to them and see if they can find an angle that Cubert aren't watching. So they pull out the pistol yet again. Now they're able to buy up. Sacred will have the Marshall over in mid, but what matters is that Boxer can even get away, and they've been netted by Cubert. They're going fishing, and they're hungry for some bait, and Boxer are poking and prodding through the smoke. Chaotic teleports in, he is fearless, and Caillou and friends are left with nothing. Boxer with back-to-back rounds.
The sheer alone enough to do a majority of the slowdown for that one, and Moose being able to really get in his bag there, go from 0 kills just a couple rounds ago to now in the middle of his pack with 6 after a nice little string with the Bulldog there. So that'll catapult Chaotic into going for the glass cannon operator for this bonus round. Really seems like Boxer Rockets think they can extend the slowdown even further. Oh, that's a sick turnaround from Chaotic, too.
Chaotic has had some really high moments. And he just needs to be consistent. He needs to be the star throughout. Boxer just takes some time to warm up, and then they can really ramp up. Sacred has been the king of mid, and king of the mid map, I should say. It's clearly not mid, anything but that. And he even tried to go after Cubert's spawn, and now they're watching their back as they're still trying to get into B main. Boxer have T-Dog pushed up too, so oof.
That was just a lot of aimless wandering from Cubert, and Caillou gets mega punished for it. Now they just have to go for the full-blown exec, and this is one of the most telegraphed things Boxer Rockets has seen today.
Hey, Cubert!
Look how Sacred's ready for that!
I can't believe it. Yeah, Boxer are always good for one, but Cubert, oh, they dropped the spike. This is not good. And you have the clone being pushed up from Chaotic. He goes unsmoked and unperturbed as Boxer really starting to come back into this map with 3 in a row.
I mean, that is Chaotic walking down Cat with no shields and clipping Caillou to 2 health points before Cubert gets an inch of space that actually matters. And the crowd already given away, time kind of low, honestly, and the rest of the map, for all they know, potentially cleared by Boxer Rockets. They have to commit. Boxer Rockets are ready for it. The op can reset back with a TP from Chaotic, and Sacred knows where he has to look for any sort of approach, even from Redux's TP. These guys studied, bro.
Sacred got out of there real quick. Nismo took some damage though, so farming for orbs. Cubert working the map more. They got their duelist on the other side of the map going up against McNutty, which could inspire Cubert to flip the map very soon.
Cage triggered.
Still a lot of that push and pull. And Odin that, well, I don't think you want to play chicken against bullets from an Odin, but Satellite will just hang around, keep the pressure up, keep Boxer honest, while the rest of Cubert still have to find a way to get a net on to McNutty. Satellite finds where the op is, but Cubert get an opening off of the pistols. It's not going to be a great buy. Could this still be a great round for Cubert to get the double digits? And it's the team that swarmed together. Sacred gets away with 1 before teleporting out, and Cubert will go out kicking and screaming if they have to. And annihilation. Well, did it even kidnap? It did kidnap 1. And Boxer have to make the most out of this situation while the 1 is down. Nismo's the last one really left to protect this, and Knights has to watch this all go by. What a great retake from Boxer.
It really felt like Cubert had the proper read on that after they were able to isolate. Force Sacred to TP early, and then already spotted where Moose is at. They win the fight against that so quick. And then Knights finding the extra kill on Heaven. But the Annihilation catches the decoy again. Chaotic is a fiend at this too. Just in time.
Oh, it
God,
was a
that was microseconds away from catching him. Oh my God. And then he just jumps down with the Odin. That is ridiculous from him. And I mean, that's a save round from Cubert, but that's also the deadlock ulti gone. That's a way that Nismo tends to really get activated on the Fulcrum rounds for Cubert. And now they have to find other ways. And Boxer Rockets, they're gonna get active first, send its dimensional drift right into T-spawn.
Running it down to their spawn is insane. And just off of a cage left by Satellite, they Cubert cover their tracks and leave with both bodies intact. Satellite did take some damage, but now they have to re-clear through all of that, leaving T-Dog to get an even deeper drone too, knowing, okay, Cubert are still in spawn, so does Boxer want to do anything with this map controller, or do they just play safe?
I mean, you have to do so much like stick shift clearing. It's so
Deploying drone.
tedious. Just gotta chip away at everything. Owl Drone's one of the more efficient tools, and the dark cover is only going to prevent a real good eye shot here. Oh God, that's a disgusting shock dart from T-Dog. That's caught a decent chunk on Caillou. Now, once again, you're pressured to use stuff early, and the Hunter's Fury isn't gonna find T-Dog. Moose can play guard dog, and Boxer Rockets can have this locked down.
Boxer have had a flawless defense so far, and Moose is on his last leg. He comes out with no HP, wins the 1v1. The Cubert are just left 6 feet under. This is insane. Again, Boxer are just a defense type of team. There's no other way to paint it. 9-3 to a 9-8.
This confidence game really starting to get played by Box of Rockets. Chaotic hitting a 23 bomb in just 17 rounds. I mean, he has been the linchpin for every one of these marks, but the setup has been immaculate the whole way through. T-Dog just barely escaping that grab net, and the Hunter's Fury forcing a lot of the push to stay stationary. So Moose can get the first bit done. Whoever's holding that Odin seemed to be T-Dog at that point. He was able to retreat back, and you're able to just cycle your own fight from there. Once again, Boxer Rockets manufacture just enough time to work with, and Chaotic continuing to just go crazy.
Cubert have hit now both sides to no success. It's been very close, coming down to 2v2s. At least it's been closer over on the A side. B, they've just been hosed down by like an Odin, as you said, to just finding a way to really leverage Cubert's smokes to block off some of these sight lines. Even just, yeah, trying to deal with these anchors from the other side from Boxer. It's been tough for Cubert.
Good to see them call the timeout here, for sure. But not much of the game plan gonna really change. Satellite still holding a lot of weight as that lurk. And Boxer Rocket's gonna try and go for a heat check again, as it appears, with this save round that they're gonna be going into.
Even just seeing that clone doesn't really tell you much, because the Yoru can just teleport anywhere. Just fall back whenever possible, and then you have to see where Sacred is teleporting to as well. He'll have the op this time, and a lot of firepower from the Boxer side on a 5-win streak. Cubert, now they're the ones facing an uphill battle when they seemed so well drilled on their defense, but now the attack to break the Boxer setup has been really difficult, and really just the post plan has been the hardest part.
Yeah, getting it done after the fact, is Boxer Rockets have so much available. Sacred doesn't even need a TP to reset for these. That's 2 down so far. Blind will finally force him to go back, but got a second line of defense here. Caillou actually will find T-Dog, though, so a bit of panic mode for the spike, able to get set up again. Nismo gets the right click.
Oh, wait, this is not as one-sided as we expected it to be. Boxer will re-clear through and be fine in the end. Sacred really is good at choosing his battles. He's so intelligent at the game. Picks up a couple picks, will teleport back, and doesn't immediately re-swing. He finds the right timing. You give a sense of security to Cubert, and you play off of your team. Boxer Have built up a lot of chemistry and have just officially tied things up 9-9 with hopes of forcing Lotus.
Yeah, with the disrespect after a couple rounds of getting to really toy with it, and now they've slowed the rhythm back down and forced Cubert to reconcile with the fact that Box of Rockets do still have that control. Even with just that single Sentinel that has all that utility can throw down, Sacred's mobility has provided more than enough checkpoints that Cubert are forced to deal with anyway. It's been a great setup so far on both prongs of the map. Really tough to do at the same time, and Cubert has offered threats both ways simultaneously. So great management to take this to potentially a lead for themselves this late into the map.
The winner of this goes up against Envy, loser against TSM, which I don't think any of these opponents are ones you want to face. I mean, especially Envy, but even TSM are a wild card of its own, so important match to try and close out. It's Cubert farmed up their orbs. Now a neural theft advantage would be great. They'll have their cam in mid too. Dimensional drift, initiation for Redux. Did maybe not spot Chaotic, so a sense of security, but the paranoia does flush out the Boxer defenders, and Redux finds himself within the site, and with an opening pick, and the rest of Cubert follow in suit. The dominoes fall, Boxer are smoked off, and really, Cubert just dot the I's, cross the T's. The setup is there, and T-Dog will emerge now that the smokes are gone. Boxer have to fight through their own smokes, it seems. And Cubert hold back within the site. Oh, wow.
Oh, T-Dog. See, all the pieces come together, and then Box of Rockets, they're able to just completely dismantle piece by piece.
Hey, Redux just tried to juke them with the clone, and Boxer tried to get organized, split between both lanes. Annihilation doesn't find a victim. The real victim is Moose. He's running out of time and more than enough money to at least force some repurchases from Cubert. And Cubert just barely get away. And that's their first round, I believe, of the half.
Yeah, it took more than just that drift as well. Nismo having to pull out the Annihilation to fully guarantee. But a good start to the round for sure. You force a lot of the openers that Box of Rockets offer, mostly being Sacred on this B site. You basically speed run to the last checkpoint that they set up. And Cubert are continuing to hit their shots. They're continuing to win these fights. And in the moment when it matters, they're able to now take this lead back. But even still, you saw all the pieces coming together. They were shuttered in that boathouse and really forced to play, again, very piecemeal to try to deter Box of Rockets from what was inevitably a very strong counter push that almost made it all the way through. Purely a timing issue at the end of the day. Not able to cycle. So if Cubert can, again, kind of just light speed run through onto a site and guarantee it, seems like they can just kind of ladder their way through the kill feed until they've been able to guarantee themselves a round. But Box of Rockets have been able to stick too many speed bumps in their way when the ult economy is not as good as it was that last round. So, I mean, all signs point to Box of Rockets just continuing to cruise this round.
The Bucky buy and market from Sacred. Oh, no, okay. Pop something else, but Cubert now swinging in, catch the tail end of T-Dog. Oh, and Redux just makes it worse. Boxer have to jump now in front of them. Sacred from the logs. Just gets slapped there by Redux. Really brought the firepower. I like that Cubert just bought their own Odin to the gun show. And now it's another if we get 3 Redux aces, like, we're just part of the montage at this point.
Okay, he just stood him
Kai
down.
does not want to screw up the ace. Just gonna call out where he is. Everyone sacrifice yourselves. Now the fake teleport, and there's another ace for Redux. Another day at the office for the young chap.
Oh my God. They fully made him a raid boss that round, giving him the Odin when he was the best candidate to spray, and then giving him the Phantom when he was the best candidate to get active. The timing for Cubert for that has to be impeccable and a little silly, to be honest with you, but really making it work after that opening flash that who else threw but Redux. Opening himself up for the first blood and doing all of the dirty work for the rest of the round. Now up to 23 himself, fully matching Chaotic, but Cubert 2 rounds ahead and starting to show that all they need is a little bit of pushback to guarantee themselves the match here.
Cubert having to work the map more, sealed off from the A orb. Being able to leverage Satellite as their lurk too. He's just been incredible on his own.
There's a drift again now that Redux is ace. They could just do what they did 2 rounds ago to guarantee this B site really heavily and default their way to another guaranteed win.
Who's next?
And T-Dog just has to be careful that he's not going to be caught out in the open in these moments. The Sacred gets to teleport out, bait out Cubert Academy. They follow suit. Behind this dimensional drift, 1v1 that's very critical, and Redux converts. And the rest of Caillou and Cubert do not get tripped up by anyone from Boxer trying to cut them off. And it's 3 versus 5 for the retake, and T-Dog is gonna get caught with this knife out. I don't know what Caillou's up to. He's trolling now.
Yeah,
we did say this match was gonna have everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is 12-9. You have to. The economy is fully dry, and all of the ultimates were used that round to try to save face. You've lost your TDF, you've lost your Into the Shadows, you've lost your Hunter's Fury. Cubert's execute was more than enough. I mean, the drift itself was still quite strong. He still manages to take down Sacred, despite the fact that he was able to reset all the way back in Boathouse. I don't know how he takes that 1v1 after all of that, but clean as clean can be. One where Boxer get to save 2 rifles, and so this buy coming into the first of a couple match points that Cubert Academy now get for themselves. It's as touch and go as Cubert would like playing up against the defensive comp, but it seems like this may just be fully unlocked. Now, you look to Knights as the one to get that positional advantage rather than Redux with that dimensional drift. Can you just get that done this round? Can you just juke these guys out for the one time and make that work enough to take this match away?
And Cubert have got a lot of good rounds under the belt just off of ultimates, so now that won't be as much of a factor this round. Now this is a judge that's guaranteed kills, surely. Surely. Okay. Oh, not even just that. The whole party comes down. Ooh. Big Nutty really rained on their parade. That's what we love about the judge. Now Cubert, this is a familiar spot, just like Icebox, being on match point forever, and Boxer inching closer to forcing overtime. You can't discount Boxer until they're fully dead.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely take those. Thanks so much, McNutty. Appreciate Tree as always. Cubert, they can just get away with that simple exec. Unfortunately, stopped far too early. And I mean, at this point, Satellite should be going for kills. You've got so many creds, and getting rid of even one gun here would actually be crazy good for the bottom line. I don't think you'll get one though.
Oh, now there's a little high-low going on. Cubert, at least Satellite can just grab the orb, but maybe worried that they'll just swing on him, so there it is. 12-10. Can Boxer force overtime and a Lotus appearance? Or will Cubert secure another date against Envy in the semifinal? Whew. This match really had everything. Entertainment, drama, trolling, knees being crouched, judges spraying everyone. It's been great.
Yeah, and Box of Rockets making it all the way back up to 10. Is this as far as they get yet again on the defense? Cubert splitting the diff even harder now. 1-3-1 playing into Cat early, but Boxer gonna stick sacred on this operator now.
Oh, he's gone untouched. What? Redux is quicker.
He's better.
Not a lot of people could say they could beat it off like that in a 1v1, and it just gets worse. The death parade is marching in. And here comes Cubert through a tree. McNutty trying to find the timing, hesitates on when to throw the paranoia. He gets netted, he gets found. And Cubert steps away from a semi-final spot in Satellite with the op. It doesn't get any worse, any better than this, depending on who you're a fan of. The glass has been broken, the hopes have been shattered, and it's Moose trying to break down the door and break down the hopes of Cubert fans, but the whole squad is there. Satellite with the third, a flawless run, and none other than a flawless team to the semifinal.
With 2 twin 13-10s and a hell of a lot of blemishes against a box of Rockets squad that looks on point, Sentinels Cubert Academy will seal a date with the team that they had to crush in order to make playoffs as that 1 seed. They will play Envy in the winners semifinals here in the playoffs to try to continue to curb Ascension dreams.
Got our appetizer to the grand final, it seems, but you know, everyone levels up when it comes to playoffs. There's so many teams that become different beasts. Like, I just think about TSM. Everyone performs a little differently in playoffs. There's a different level of preparation. But Cubert have shown a month off does not matter. They are still clean. A dude pulled off 3 aces. So I think you put all the eggs in the Redux basket, but everyone had some level of star power on that roster. Cubert did fantastically.